This story took place many years ago. This is Samuel. He is just a small boy, but he lives a long way away from his family. Our story began when Hannah went to the temple to pray. She asked God for a baby for which she so much longed. And when she found she was expecting a baby boy with her husband, she promised him to God for his work. At the age of 3, Samuel's parents took him to the temple to live with the old priest Eli. And then they returned to their home. Samuel began to treat Eli as if he was his father. Samuel was a good and obedient boy. One night, when Eli, who was nearly blind, was lying in his room, and Samuel was lying asleep in the temple, where the light had not yet gone down, Samuel heard someone calling him. He ran straight away to the priest. But Eli was puzzled. He said, "I didn't call you. Go back to sleep." Samuel had just settled down when he heard, "Samuel, Samuel!" He raced straight away to his father. But Eli said, "My son, I did not call you. Go and lie back down." When the same thing happened a third time, a shiver went down Eli's spine. He realised what was happening. He spoke to Samuel gently and said, "Go and lie back down, and if you hear a voice calling, say, 'Speak, Lord, your servant is listening.'" When Samuel heard the voice, he did exactly as the priest had told him. He said, "Speak, Lord, your servant is listening." It was God who was calling Samuel. He told him that he had to give a message to Eli from God, saying that because Eli's sons were cheating the people who came to worship, God would find another priest to follow Eli. Afterwards, Samuel was very worried. He did not want to give the old priest bad news. He lay down until morning, when he went very slowly to open the doors of the temple for people coming in. When he returned, the old priest turned round and asked Samuel to tell him everything that had happened, not missing out a thing. And Samuel did. Eli was sad because he knew that his sons had let him and God down. And Samuel continued to live with Eli. And when he grew up, he became famous for being an adult who listened to God's word and gave the people messages from God. I wonder which part of the story you think is most important. I wonder if we could leave out any of the story and still have all the story we need. I wonder if you have ever felt like Samuel. I wonder if you could draw or write something for me that you like from the story.